Hello, Rich. Welcome back.
Well, welcome back to you. Good to see you. You're looking well.
Yeah, I was just listening to Tullio. I know Tullio. I presented a day with him here on the Isle of Wight a few years ago. And, you know, the whole basis of what he's saying is really simple. That is that cancer is a fungus and sodium bicarbonate kills fungus. It's as simple as that. And, you know, when we're talking about a conspiracy to suppress cures that aren't produced by Big Pharma, it doesn't mean that every doctor is in on it. All you need is doctors to be one of two things, or usually both, which is ignorant of anything outside of what's been taught to them at the medical schools and by the pharmaceutical reps, and secondly, in fear of stepping out of line. And this is how they've done it, Rich. The Rockefellers, in the early part of the 20th century, or the latter part of the 19th, when they were starting to bring in big pharma medicine, they introduced, this is such a scam, and it's played out right across society. The scam is licensing. What they do is they say, right, to do A, B, and C, in this case, be a doctor, you need a license. You cannot do it without a license. Now, if you're going to get the license, you have to do it the way we say. And that's how they keep alternative ways of treating people out of mainstream use and even mainstream knowledge, and how they stop doctors going in another direction. Because let's look at this just very quickly. We are now in the 21st century. You look at all the technological developments and all that, and still today, the only response to cancer is either radiation, which causes cancer, acknowledged, or chemotherapy, which, as one doctor recently said, it's like giving someone weed killer and expecting them to recover. And what chemotherapy does is destroy the immune system, the cells of the immune system. So even if the initial cancer is suppressed, the immune system's not there as protection any longer for the rest of your life, with often devastating effects in terms of cancer returning. So it's the Stone Age. And if you look, Rich, through the history of Big Pharma, what you'll find is anyone that made breakthroughs that were outside of the Big Pharma arena, they were targeted, destroyed, either ended up in jail, and attacked and abused like
look at what happened to Wilhelm Reich and the orgone generator and that story that we told early in the spring here on TPV. I got to just mention finally, and I'm not being silly about this, but just that Cancer Research UK, whom we got a quote from, just on that, they're saying, no, we're not having any of it. And I definitely want to get Simoncini on the programme sometime with some of these people. I'd love a bit of that.
Absolutely, Rich. Debate with him.
That's
you know,
right.
the cancer is an industry. It's an industry with fantastic income. And when you look at the staggering amount of money that has been given by the public and thrown at the so-called finding a cure for cancer, and we're no nearer getting to the heart of it now in Big Pharma terms, that is ridiculous. It's an inversion of what should have happened, and it's being suppressed. One of the most corrupt industries on earth is the cancer industry, and that is an expression of another one of the greatest corrupt and appalling organizations on earth.
I'll tell you.
You know, when you research this, and you research it with an open mind, and you research it without self-censorship, you let the information be your guide. And this is why, like, again, coming back to what we said earlier, this is why I talk for so long when I do a presentation like Wembley Arena. When you do that, you realize that it's not just here and there that we have been sold a lie, not just in medicine, not just in banking, not just in politics. Almost everything we've ever been told since we arrived in this sliver of frequency we call the world is a lie, and much of it has been systematically hidden from us. Systematically, we've been lied to to keep us in ignorance. And people talk about, you know, the great diseases of humanity and this and that, the other biggest disease of humanity, ignorance. And alongside of that is the arrogance of ignorance. Not just being ignorant of things because you've just taken what you've been told and believed it and not researched it for yourself, but the arrogance that because it's different to what you've been told, that you can dismiss it without a second thought. It's like Einstein talked about. The stupidity and arrogance of dismissing things you've not researched, dismissing things you know nothing about. And so we are in a situation with Tullio, for instance, classic example of what I'm talking about, this arrogance of ignorance, whereby because it's different, never mind, this is the question. They never say, well, does it work? Let's have some clinical trials, see if it works. No, that's not where they're coming from. It's by reflex action. Sodium bicarbonate, that's in baking powder, and it cure cancer, that's ridiculous. End of story. No more research, no more questioning. The arrogance of ignorance. And that is, along with ignorance itself, is the reason we're in this mess.